What's up, y'all? This is Player's Choice. I'm your host, Kayla Maryland, and today I'm here with Wake Forest receiver Chris Barnes. So, how you been, Chris?
I've been good. Coming from high school, going into my freshman year. Well, I just finished my freshman year of college, football aspect of it. Yeah.
So, what was that like transferring from, well, not transferring, but going into college right out of high school?
Well, going into college from high school, it wasn't a big jump coming from North Shore on the football side because we pretty much do the same things like game day routines, pregame, all of that is pretty much the same. But the only thing that would change probably like North Shore, we did like afternoon practices.
Mm-hmm.
College, you're gonna be waking up way earlier, and you're gonna have like plans throughout your whole day, so you don't really have a lot of free time, but you have a lot of free time. You just gotta know how to use your free time.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of want to get into depth with that
Hmm.
because I don't think a lot of people know like how much your routine has to change between high school and college. So, like,
Yeah.
what is it that's changed the most between your high school routine and college routine?
Um. Really, you have to get more sleep because your day's gonna be way longer than high school. You gotta prepare for workouts. Like, some people they don't eat before workouts in high school, but in college the workout's more intense. So you need to have that energy, before the workout. Hmm.
And with that, coming from North Shore, we got a good weightlifting program.
Hmm.
What's like the biggest difference that you've seen from our program and the program that you've been at before you transferred over to Wake Forest?
Um, I haven't started lifting at Wake Forest yet, but at Washington State, I can speak on that one. At Washington State, we'll lift probably like in season, probably like 3 days throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
Mondays be like upper body. Wednesdays be like more legs to like your power lift, and then if we don't have a game on that Friday, we'll probably lift like auxiliary stuff, like more stretching, getting more movement and stuff like that. And just feel like in high school, we lifted like almost every day,
Every
so
day.
that was like a difference. Like you will lift, but you won't lift as much if that makes sense. Like during the season, but off season, I haven't experienced the off season yet. It's just upcoming will be my first off season, so we'll see.
And with that, in college, is it more after you lift, you go to the trainers and stretch than it is in high school, like taking care of your body wise, or what is it?
I feel like for college, you have more like resources. Like even in the locker room, they have cold tub if you need to get in the cold tub before or after a lift, or after a practice if you need to. The training room is open as long as the facility open. The training room gonna be open, so you have no excuse in college to like not prepare or recoup if you need to. Yeah.
And practice wise, what would you say is one of the biggest differences that you've seen between a North Shore practice and practices that you've been in?
It's pretty much the style. It's kind of the same, cause we started off, we stretch, listen to music pregame, not pregame, like pre-practice. Do like a fast start to get our bodies going. Then we separate into scout team. Then we do special teams. Then we go back to scout team for another few periods, and then it's really pretty much the same though. Like we do best on best, and then we do like situational stuff. So it's pretty much the same. Yeah.
And are the practices longer? Like,
Mhm.
is it like 3 hour, 4 hour practices, or how do they do it?
I feel like it's a little shorter because at No Show we get the athletic period and then we get after school. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's shorter. We only get like sometimes an hour and 45 or 2 hours at most. But I feel like it'd be short, but it's like straight work the whole time. Like, yeah.
And when you were at Washington State, you were there in the summer going into your freshman year, right?
Hmm.
What would you say summer wise is the difference?
Summer wise, you had to take classes during the summer.
Oh, you do?
So, well, you don't have to. I think that was just for incoming freshmen.
Mm-hmm.
But or if your GPA not where it need to be, then yeah, you're gonna have to take summer classes while you doing the summer workouts. And the summer workouts, wake up at 4 sometimes, probably 5. You get lucky for a 5 a.m. wake up time, but
Mm-hmm.
workouts be starting at 5 sometimes, then 5 to probably like 7. We'll still throw football in there, but it's more like what I'm trying to say, more development for the weight room for the summer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I heard like on TikTok, Instagram, and stuff from like other collegiate athletes that their summer workouts it'll sometimes last them from 5 all the way to 7.
Hmm.
Is that true, or is that just like some programs?
5 to 7. Like you won't, of course, you won't just straight lift for that long. So are you talking about like in the afternoon, or are you talking about in the morning, 7 in the morning?
7 in the morning.
Oh, in the morning. Probably lift will probably be like an hour and a half. Nothing too crazy because we always get started with a stretch.
Hmm.
Stretch be about 20 minutes. 20 minute stretch, get your body going. Then of course you have a warm up lift, and then once you get the lift out the way, the other hour and a half will go to football. So it's like split up. It don't just be like straight lifts during the summer. So it'll be split up.
So, do y'all also do 2 a days, or do y'all just like break
Mhm.
it all up in big segments so y'all have time to yourselves?
I feel like we'll do a like two a days throughout the week. During the summer we did that, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. Like I said, like North Shore is kind of it'll get you ready for the college level for sure. Yeah.
And game wise, is there like an energy difference? Because
Hmm.
for our games, we would come out there hype, listening to music, we doing backflips.
Hmm.
Is it different from when you were at Washington State, or
So game days in college, I started high school. High school game days, we had like this itinerary of the schedule of what we would do before the game and the warm ups. In college, you still had that itinerary, but it's more time to get yourself right at the
get
time
yourself?
that you need. And the energy and the atmosphere, like the state game be lit, but just a regular season game feel like a state game in college. Like
Mhm.
the amount of people that's there, how loud it be. Sometimes you can't even hear. That's how most colleges do the signals and stuff like that because
Yeah.
the how loud it is in the area. So I feel like it's definitely a different atmosphere in college football. Yeah.
And pregame, because like you said about the itinerary, we would have like a certain schedule set all the way leading up to our warm-ups outside.
Hmm.
How is y'all's? Like, I know y'all probably still have a schedule set, but do y'all have longer warm-up times,
Yeah.
or how does that work?
Yeah, I feel like the warm up time is longer because you even have a little time to go out there by yourself instead of with the team. So if we get there at like say we play at 5, probably get there 3 hours before the game. Once we get there, you have like 45 minutes to do whatever for 45 minutes for yourself. That's your time outside of the team warm up time.
Hmm.
So you do whatever you need to do. Get rolled, get stretched, go outside, warm up if you need to, and then come back in after that, and then we start our team stretching, and then start doing like a little not a walkthrough, but kind of jog through plays and stuff like that. Go back in, change it to like our game stuff. So the whole team come together, and then we start doing our actual like team warm up. Like we'll go out by positions, of course, before the team warm up. Yeah.
And like how you just said that, state games, there's a lot of people, it's nice, it's turn, but in college, is every game like a state game,
Mm-hmm.
no matter who you play, or is it all like much louder than state?
Well, of course they're gonna have like the games where you're not playing a so good opponent, so people not really gonna come to those games.
Hmm.
But the games like I have a example like Texas Tech. When we played Texas Tech, we striped the whole stadium. It was sold out and it was loud. You couldn't even hear. So I think that one. That was like the closest thing to probably the state game. Besides, and UW game we played Washington when we played in the Seahawks Stadium. That one was turned two.
What was it like being in the Seahawks stadium?
Seahawks Stadium. I didn't think it would get that loud. That's probably the loudest game I've been a part of. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
Oof, dang. Was the stadium nice?
Yeah, the stadium was nice and it kind of like closed over the top. Not closed, but it got like a small opening. I think that's why
I,
it's
I
so
think I know what
loud.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
What is it like during halftime? Because I know what we do right now
Hmm.
is different what we did last year.
Yeah.
Because now we are able to have like we're able to watch our first and second quarter at
Hmm.
halftime. So what do y'all do at halftime?
So pretty much we doing what you saying, like what y'all doing now with the iPads. We even have the iPads on the sideline, but halftime, go in there, of course, eat something, drink something, so you can stay hydrated through the time that you're chilling before you go back out there for the second half. We watch over the film for the over the first half, and then we can correct, and then yeah, it's pretty much the same though. And then I think it's shorter. It might be shorter, or it
Shorter.
might be the same. I think we get like 25, 30 minutes. It might be the same at halftime. Yeah.
And since your class specifically didn't have the iPads,
hmm
how much of a difference do you think that makes for the game? Being able to go watch what you did first and second quarter and try and fix it.
So the iPads, I feel like it's a big help for pretty much everybody, but at the same time, it can hurt some people because say, for example, if some people drop a ball, they don't like to see them drop a ball. It'll
Mm-hmm.
lower their confidence. So, but for me, I feel like it'll help me because I can see the looks, see and just know what I need to do next time I see that look. Basically, yeah.
And then what is the traveling like
hmm
with the team? Because I know sometimes like far games I go out by plane. So what is that like?
This year we flew to every away game. I know it'll be different this upcoming year when I'm with Wake Forest. We got like a lot of games in the vicinity, like Duke, North Carolina State, and I feel like the traveling from in Washington State. I like the plane rides, but sometimes I ain't like to travel for too long, like be on the plane for too long. Like when we went all the way to New Mexico from Washington,
Ooh.
that one was far. That was our furthest game, and yeah. But I feel like the bus rides would be smooth because everything close.
Mm-hmm.
So
And going into being in the transfer portal, what was that like for you? Because I
mm.
see a lot of athletes struggle once they go in the transfer portal and they don't really hear back from coaches. So how was your experience?
My experience, like I already had you know I already had somewhere to go, so I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
gonna be stuck in the portal. That's one thing. Like to jump in the portal, you don't want to just jump in the portal blind, like without knowing who gonna pick you up or nobody reached out to your people, high school coach, or nothing like that. But luckily I had that, so I was able to jump in not blind. So yeah.
And what is one of the main reasons why you chose Wake Forest?
I chose Wake Forest because I like the staff at Washington State, and pretty much my head coach went over there, my receiver coach, the whole strength staff went over there.
Mm-hmm.
A few defensive coaches went over there too, but I didn't pick just for coaches though. But I know I like the scheme that they bring in up there with the new LC from South Alabama, Coach Ben. And I liked how the ways he's talked about getting me the ball,
Mm-hmm.
open space, throwing the ball. Um, yeah, and another reason I chose Wake Forest is because of the community. Like we were just they just welcoming, like yeah, welcome you in like you've been there basically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And transferring all the way from Washington to Wake Forest,
hmm
is that like what are you thinking when you're going through that?
Um, I mean it's a blessing because I get to be closer to home. My people don't have to take two flights to get to where I'm at. They can come more often, and then it's just a better conference. I get to show what I can do in a better conference, so that I can play at that level, no matter my size or whatever. I can play at whatever level. Basically, let you know what kind of work you need to do
Mm-hmm.
to to be done for the day, of course. And then you need a certain hours for study hall. And study hall for at Washington State, it was just from 7 to 9. And of course, the day's gonna be long, but you gotta really be committed to wanting to go to the next level. Not even just NFL, but just in life, in order to get through that whole process. Really.
And in college, are you taking like more classes
hmm
than in high school? Or are you taking less classes, the same amount?
In college, it's definitely less classes than I had in high school, but you have more responsibilities with that class, so you'll have way more work that you wouldn't even know that the teacher put in, and you would be blind to it. But that's why your advisors there to help you. Like if they see something that they know you didn't see, they'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you still got to be on it, like reading your syllabus, being on the whatever app they have for y'all to look at y'all classes. You have to be on that, check it every day. Sometimes something might pop up you wouldn't even know, but that's why you got to stay on it. Yeah.
And as a student athlete, how is it trying to balance your schoolwork and
Mhm.
also watching film?
Schoolwork and film, I feel like they can go hand in hand. Sometimes I watch film while doing my schoolwork, like have my computer and my iPad at the same time watching film and doing work. Having to balance schoolwork and watching film, you have a lot of time during your day to watch film because the facility will always be open.
Hmm.
So you can bring your schoolwork there and do both at the same time, really.
With the film, is there any like things to make it easier to watch film than it was in high school?
I know with the film that we have, of course, it has like what defense they running up there. It have what play number, what quarter or what half it was, and stuff like that. So I feel like that make it easier, so you'll know when they do certain things. You'll know like yeah, just what looks you'll get on certain downs and stuff like that. But it's pretty much the same. Like the film system is pretty much the same as high school. It's just film. Like you just gotta know how to break it down, really. Yeah.
And what is the nutrition like in college?
The nutrition part, they always have some type of snack or something around.
Mm.
Like in the weight room, we got a whole bar full of snacks, protein shakes, and all of that. They have all of that there for you. But then they'll have you on a meal plan. Like if you need to gain weight or if you need to lose weight or you need to maintain the same weight that you have, they'll let you know. Like the nutrition people, they'll let you know where are you at with your weight and if you need to gain or not. But we have like on our card, we have a card with our ID, and they have like a swipe. You can swipe it, and pretty much it cover all your meals inside the dining hall. It don't it cover like some places inside the campus for food, but pretty much for the dining hall, we'll get probably 3 meals a day from the dining hall. Some people they don't like it, but sometimes it's better than having to pay every day for fast food, and you would need the dining food more than the fast food, really.
And with the meal prep, is it the same 3 meals or do they like switch it up?
Nah, they'll switch it up every day, but once you get in the system and the flow of things, you'll realize you'll know what's for what day basically, or what's to come on the next day basically. But they switch it up pretty good though. Like every other week, it would be something different. But well, with me, of course, I'm a smaller dude, so I had to gain a little weight. So they had me on more like carbs and stuff like that to stick basically.
Mhm.
But the exact stuff, they didn't really like tell me like what to eat, but they just told me what I needed more of, basically carbs. If that makes sense. Add more green too, but more color. It don't have to be green, but color. Yeah.
And on game days, would the meals be different or
Game days feel like we always it felt like we always had steak, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. That's what it felt like we had on game days every day.
when you first got to Washington, you know, I know it's definitely a difference in the locker room. So, music wise,
Hmm.
what do you think was the biggest difference compared to being down here?
Music wise, I feel like everybody in Washington pretty much listen to like the West Coast music, more Cali rappers. So that's what changed in my life. Well, from what I listen to, of course, I listen to more of the Southern music,
Hmm.
but going to Washington introduced me to a lot of like West Coast music for sure.
Was there ever any debates in the locker room about whose music was better?
Debates, not about music, nah, but they always try to say Cali football is better than Texas football. But I can keep going about that a long time with Cali and Texas football. So
And with those conversations, how deep would y'all get with that? Because
hmm
it's a big deal with Texas, Cali, Georgia, Florida. So,
hmm
what would those conversations be like?
pretty much we'll like most of the people. We had a few people from Texas, and they will always say like Cali, they recruit more way than like way more than Texas would. Even though of course there's recruitment everywhere going on around the nation, but Cali, it just seemed like you get dudes from all over and they can go to a certain school like without having to live in that area basically. But
Hmm.
even though out here you got to have some type of address in the in the
The
neighborhood or
vicinity
something.
of the
Yeah.
school, yeah.
Mhm.
And with people from pretty much all over the place,
Mhm.
what was that like? Like hearing people from Florida or if someone was from Ohio, like what was the difference for everybody?
Okay, so one difference was dances. Like some dudes from East Coast, they dance way different than dudes down south. They wouldn't know certain dances that we do from Texas and stuff like that. Even some people from Cali, they have their own type of dance
Yeah.
that they do. Another difference was just getting used to being with everybody being different. And you just got to be willing to accept everybody differences in order to come together, basically. Yeah.
And how's the food out there in Cali?
The food. When I went to Cali, went to San Diego. I mean, I didn't really have nothing too out the ordinary. They just didn't have food that they had in Washington. Like Washington, we only had a McDonald's, a Taco Bell, pizza spots, and a Chipotle. That was about it. But and when I went to San Diego, we had, of course, they had Popeyes, they had Cane's, they had Chick-fil-A, they had more like seafood and stuff like that. So it was more options for sure. Yeah.
Outside of football in school, being a student athlete, what do you do in your free time as a college student?
Free time, sometimes like everybody grown in college now, so you can get around way easier than high school. I know as a team we went cliff jumping. I ain't never jumped off the cliff a day in my life.
Cliff jumping.
We went cliff jumping into a
No.
lake over there. I think that's what it's called. But and then what else we did? Like we'll go just do more stuff as a team. That's what I
Mhm.
think is like a difference from high school. High school, of course, y'all go out here and there to like parties, but in college they got parties too. But you don't just go straight to parties in college. If that makes sense. You have more, like I said, it's more free time. You can travel a little more in the vicinity than high school,
Mhm.
and not get in trouble for being in college. Yeah.
And I never heard of cliff jumping. So what is cliff jumping like?
Me personally, I didn't jump.
You did. I don't
I
like
ain't
that.
jump,
Don't
but
sound.
we went as a team. I got in the water, but I ain't jump. Um, I seen dudes flipping off there. I'm like, yeah, y'all crazy.
So is it like them like little Instagram videos of dudes like 20 feet in the air jumping off a cliff with no bungee cord?
Yeah, no chorus, no nothing, just jump
No
straight in the
sir.
water.
No sir.
Another thing we did, we had like a diving contest at the pool, like as a team. Like
Mhm.
coach posted in a group, everybody go to this pool, the neighborhood pool, a community pool, and it was like a diving board contest. Like whoever had the best dive or belly flop, and we had like a belly flop contest, bro. Yeah, but freshmen, it was mandatory for freshmen to do it, so I had to do it. I had the belly flop.
I know that hurt.
Man,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
And what would y'all, besides the cliff jumping, what would y'all do mainly for team bonding? Would y'all just like play the game together or like?
hmm Team bonding, a lot of us played the game together. Like we didn't really go outside a lot because we was tired from the workouts and stuff like that in school. So a lot of us stayed inside. We played the game a lot, or we'll just go to one of our teammates' dorm. We'll chill in there, play the game again, and yeah, sometimes we even play like board games, stuff like that. Just little small stuff, cards, Uno, domino, stuff like that. Just chilling.
What game did y'all play the most?
I feel like we played college football because college football was definitely that's when college football just came
It
out.
just came out.
And everybody was on it saying, "Oh, I better you, I can beat you," and stuff like that. So I feel like we was playing college football, and then Call of Duty came along, and then yeah,
Mm. What was your favorite team to use in college football?
college football. Me personally, I like to play with myself,
Yeah.
but outside of playing with myself, I played with Alabama, and I played with UT.
UT.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I use South Carolina and Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That Nick Harbor, you crazy
That
on there.
boy. That boy sent him on a go every time.
Yeah.
Between all your high school games,
Mhm.
regular season all the way up to state, and your college games, what is the speed difference?
Okay, so being on offense, you got to know that you can't do too many cuts coming back because the D linemen in college they pursuit to the ball fast. Like in high school, I feel like in the D1 level, the 6A D1 level, they got to the ball fast, but in college, they actually getting paid to do what they do, so
Mm-hmm.
they take it more serious, like getting to the ball on defense and on like being with the quarterback, the speed. Like of course, high school they'll wait, they'll pause the whole play and make a check, but
Yeah.
in college, the quarterback with my offense that we ran, it was just straight signal. So he'll like look, he'll be about to snap the ball and you not looking and he'll give you a signal. You gotta know like what you're supposed to have and stuff like that. So I feel like that's way quicker than high school on the college level. Yeah.
And in the college level, do you have to have way more football IQ than you do in high school?
I feel like you gotta have. some type of IQ. Like it don't have to be the best, but you just have to know what to do in that situation, like in and out. Like you don't have to be steps ahead. You just have to know when you see something how to react. Basically,
Mm.
football is a reactionary game. You got to know how to react. Yeah.
So basically, like just knowing when to sit down sometimes or
Hmm.
being in the hole.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is it like going against, bigger dudes in college? Like, because, in high school, you go against a team one week where you have a team that's like 6 foot across the board, 200, and then the next week, there'll be some dudes that are like 5'3"
Hmm.
starting at linebacker.
I feel like you shouldn't treat no team different. Treat every team like they 6 foot, 7 foot, really, and just go in there and know what you can do and handle your business. And I feel like the outcome will be whatever you put into it. Yeah.
And on your routes
Hmm.
and, timing with the QB, is it like more out of your break or
Hmm.
is it longer developing routes? How does that work?
They got a few long development routes in college football, but sometimes like you got to know the defenses. Like you say, if you got to dig in like cover three, you got to know that the linebacker that's pushing out to wall you, you got to know that he just gonna sit. So if you wrap around him, you don't want to keep going full speed into the next linebacker. You got to know you need to sit it down right there. It just depends on what coverage is really. And then for the longer routes, yeah, like I just got to have good timing on that one. Like I can't really speak too much on the longer routes because I was in the slot. I didn't really run a lot of long routes for real, but it's all about timing, really, though.
And you were saying how sometimes that, the quarterback, right before he snaps the ball, he'll change that play up.
Hmm.
Is he like letting you know he's going to you on that, or is he just telling you he wants you to run that to see if that's trying to open something up for someone else?
So I feel like the quarterback position, like it's a lot of stuff that go in the quarterback head during the game. So if he sees something that he don't like, a play that coach called and he don't like it, he'll check it. Like it's not gonna 100% go to you if he checking you something. It's probably something that he think will be better than what the coach called, or will be better going into the defense that the other team running. Like they'll show a look, says like acting like they finna press, and they'll bail out, and he'll stop it and try to hurry up and make a check just for that specific reason. But I feel like if you get a check, it won't 100% go to you. Maybe if you're the single side, maybe, but yeah, you don't all the time.
And as a receiver, what is it like when your like quarterback makes those checks last second? Like, do you run your, let's say he checks you to like a corner out, right?
Hmm.
Do you run your corner out high, low? How does that work?
It's based off the defense. Like, of course, if they in cover three corner billing, we have like a seam, like a corner read, basically. Like, corner read would be a corner or a seam. In cover three, you don't want to run a corner into the billing corner.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep it up the seam. So as you pass the linebacker to get your head around, then the ball probably should be there. But if it's not a spot read, like a corner read, um, then I guess your route is not, it's not gonna be the one that's gonna be open. So they'll want you to run it into the corner to open up the snag route or something like that. But
Being so far away from Texas, home from your family, friends, what do you do to like take your mind off of that?
a lot of times I went to the field and I like read my Bible on the field, just to clear my mind. Cause I know sometimes I did miss home or miss family, but I knew I was on a mission to accomplish what I wanted to go in life. But other than that, just you got to find some people to be around, keep you company, people that you can call family, and be around while you up there. So we spent time with my coach, my teammates. Sometimes we'll go over to coach house, like all of my position group, go over there, play the game, chill there, cook for us and stuff like that, and make us feel like we're at home.
Mm-hmm.
For the ones who feeling kind of homesick.
So y'all will bond together as a team, so you don't like it's not always in your head.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
What would you tell all the high school receivers who are getting ready to go to college or 2 years away from college that they should work on?
I feel like a piece of advice that I can give to really not just receivers, though I can give it to anybody that's wanting to go to the college level and play football. You got a lot of time, but you really don't got a lot of time. So whatever you think about getting better at, you need to do it whenever you think about it, or do it more like consistency. Consistency is key going into college as well. Like you can have a good day, you can have another good day, but if you have a bad day, you can't just live on that one bad day. You can put the bad day aside and go have a good day the next day. And coaches like when they see how you respond in um, times where you don't think you're doing your best. They like when you respond and come back harder. So
Now that you're transferring into Wake Forest, what are some goals that you have for yourself this season?
goals for this season, I want to help Wake Forest get to ACC championship. You know, of course, I want to have a great season because last year I played a little bit, but I didn't play as much as I would like. But of course, get on the field way more than I did this year.
Okay. Thank y'all for tuning in to Player's Choice. This is your host, Caleb Maryland.
And I'm Chris Barnes.
And I'll catch you on the next episode.